Hi, I'm Benny D, and in this video we're going to have a look at an introduction to matrices for VCE Mathematical Methods Units 3 and 4. Okay, so a matrix is a rectangular array of numbers with each number being called an entry. Matrices are defined by their dimensions, i.e. the number of rows and columns. Okay, so this is what a matrix looks like. You can see we've got like our square brackets here, okay, our braces, okay, and we'd say because this is got 2 rows and 3 columns, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Now, in the scope of the VCE stage design at the moment, okay, we only actually need to look at quite small matrices, just 2 by 2 and 2 by 1. Okay, but you'll see a couple of examples here that's slightly larger. Okay. If 2 matrices are of the same order or size, then they can be added or subtracted by adding or subtracting the corresponding entries. Okay, so we've got an example here. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to add my top left to my top left. So 1 plus 10 is 11. My top right to my top right. So 5 plus negative 3 is going to be 2. Okay, my bottom left with my bottom left, which is 7 plus 4 is 11. Okay, and my bottom right with my bottom right, which is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, pretty nice and straightforward. If this was a negative, then we'd be subtracting this value off that one and this one off that one and so forth. So we just need to make sure that we're lining up those same corresponding values. Okay. We also need to know how to multiply a matrix by a scalar, or just a constant. Okay, so a matrix can be multiplied by a scalar by multiplying each entry by the scalar. Okay, so we've got an example here again. We've got 3 times this matrix here. So all we're going to do, okay, is go 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 5, 15, 3 times 6, 18, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 4, 12, 3 times 8, 24. Okay, so all we're doing is multiplying each value by this scalar or constant. Okay, it's called a scalar because it's really a scale factor. We're making everything 3 times bigger, so scaling it up or scaling it down. Okay, but we're just multiplying, okay, each element in our matrix or entry in our matrix by this constant out the front. Okay, it's got a little bit more to do. Okay, so matrix multiplication. This is a little bit trickier than the other work that we're doing on matrices, but a matrix A can be multiplied by a matrix B only if the number of columns in A is the same as the number of rows, actually rows, in B. Okay, so i.e. if A is an m times n matrix, so m rows, n columns, and B is an n times r matrix, or n rows, r columns, then A times B exists because this value and this value are the same. And not only will A times B exist, it'll be an m times r matrix. So our size will be this first number by this last number. Okay. Now, the way we multiply them, I like to call the run and dive method. Okay, so we've got 2 matrices here, and I'll show you how this works. We've got A is the matrix 1, 4, 2, 3, and B is 5, 2, 6, 1. And we need to find AB. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up here, our 2 matrices. Okay, we've got 1, 4, 2, 3. Okay, and that's being multiplied by 5, 2, 6, 1. Okay, so the run and dive. Okay, so what we do, okay, is think of it like this. We're going to run across our row and dive down our column. Then we're going to run across this same row again and dive down this column. We're going to run across this second row, dive down this column, run across this second row and run down this column. Okay, and you'll see what that looks like. Okay, so our matrix will look a little bit bigger to start off with, and we'll simplify things. Okay, so we're going to go 1 times 5, okay, plus 4 times 6. And that's going to be our first entry. Okay. Now, our second entry is going to be 1 times 2 plus 4 times 1. So we're doing that run across, dive down. Now we're going to move on to our second row, and we're still going to run down this first column. So we're going to go 2 times 5 plus, we're going to go 3 times 6. Right, now our last spot is going to be running across this row, diving down this column. So 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1. Right, when we simplify that, well, 1 times 5 is 5, plus 4 times 6, which is 24, so we're going to get 29. Okay, we're going to get 2 and 4 is 6, we're going to get 10 and 18 is 28, okay, and we're going to get 4 and 3 is 7. Okay. And you can see, because this was a they were both 2 by 2 matrices, our answer had to be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so that's our first example. We'll do another one though, okay, which we've got here. This time we've got a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 3. So that means our answer is going to be a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so we'll set them up again. I might need to leave myself a little bit more room this time. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, by 0, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so remember we're going to do the same thing. We're going to run and dive. Run and dive. So we're going to run across a row and dive down a column. Run across the row, down a column. Cross our row, down a column. Move on to our second row. Cross our row, down a column. Cross our row, down a column. Cross the row, down the column. So you see what's happening here. Okay, just got to keep things going in the right spot. So we've got 2 times 0 plus 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1. Okay, so we've gone across and down. Now we're going to do that again. Okay, 2 times 1. Okay, and then, sorry, there'll be 1 times 1. Sorry about that. 2 by 1 plus 2 by 1 plus, we're going to get 3 times 0. Okay, you see I'm actually running out of your room here, okay, because I don't really have room for my last column. So what I might do is just simplify things here. We'll just work things out as we go. We're working with little numbers. Okay, so 1 times 0 is 0, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 times 1, well, 4 and 3 is 7. Okay, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, so we're at 3. 3 times 0 is 0, so we're going to be 3. Now we're going to run and dive, so 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 3 times 1 is 3, 7 plus 3 is 10. Okay, now we'll move on to our second row, so we're going to run, dive, run, dive, run, dive. So 3 by 0 is 0, 2 by 2 is 4, 1 by 1 is 1, so 4 plus 1 is 5. Move on to our same row, second column. 3 times 3 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, so we're at 5, 1 times 0 doesn't add anything, so we're 5 again. Okay, and last one, run, dive. 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, so we're at 9, plus 1 times 1 gives us 10. Okay, so just remember, run and dive, run and dive. Okay, we'll get you out of a lot of trouble with doing our matrix multiplication. Okay, so look, hopefully that'll be enough to help you out with some of the questions you're going to face.